There are experiences from my childhood that I didn't realize in the moment how much they were shaping me into the person that I am today. At 11 years old, I moved from a small farm to the great metropolis of Mahomet. It was sheltered and safe on this farm. I had so much fun, and it was kind of weirdly blissful, just like wandering around for hours, playing. Now, my father is the only child to the most amazing grandparents anyone could have been blessed with. Grandpa was funny and calm, and he loved to give me dollar bills when he said goodbye. Grandma was beautiful inside and out, and she was fiercely competitive, especially at canasta or any other game. She was adventurous and funny and kind, and she had a way of doing something for you that was just for you, that let you know that she saw you. So my heart always felt so filled with love from them that naturally being with them was my favorite place on earth. Now, when my grandfather had a series of small strokes, we had to move closer to where they lived in Urbana, Illinois, to aid in their care. Now, this move to Mahomet, it actually hadn't gone that well for me. You see, I was angry at my parents for years for it. And that not going well, I was starting 6th grade. I had a weird haircut. It was spiked like a boy, okay? The school was huge in comparison to where I had been going. I had begun to develop in a rather accelerated manner, so making me a little chubby too. And the kids weren't that nice. Joke's on them, I'm still chubby. And one popular girl who will not be named was the bane of my existence. My dad had started working out of town right then. My mom started working out of the house right then. And, well, big brothers, if you have one, you know how they can be. Don't feel too bad for me. There were saving graces. One of them was a lovely family that we met at church, and I had started to babysit for them. And I liked being there. It was fun. I felt good doing a good job and helping. I got money. And much like on the farm, I got to play for hours. It's true. Another saving grace was that, of course, I was closer to Grandma and Grandpa Lasater. And now, this meant I could spend more time with them and at their house, where I pretty much got to do whatever I wanted, right? And I could watch TV. We didn't have one. They even had cable, right? So mostly, though, I felt safe and welcomed there, like I could just be myself. Now, in addition to being at their house, we now also went to the nursing home where my grandfather was staying. I was familiar with things other than perfect bodies already as a kid. My mother's hand and leg are deformed. Ralph, the piano player at the church back by the farm, was missing a few fingers. Another grandma's brother, Paul, was deaf. And my goodness, we even had a 3-legged dog back on that farm for a while. Okay, so now with going up to the nursing home, Grandpa was unable to walk from those strokes. He had difficulty with his speech, if he could get it out at all. He had a hand that was kind of closed up and stayed that way. And going up to this nursing home was an eye-opening experience for me. The smells, I mean, they were always present, right? Except for on Grandpa. And the sounds that you hear, and the sights of people being cared for when they cannot care for themselves. Now, I was always happy to see Grandpa, and I could always tell he was happy to see me. Those sounds, he had one he would make when I'd come in. Right? So, it warmed my heart, right? It's like going for that hug, because I knew he was happy to see me, maybe a little nervous, but it also made me giggle. And there was always something to do for Grandpa, whether it was polishing his glasses so they weren't smudged, helping to shave him with the electric shaver. And hey, sometimes I'd act like I was hot stuff and I'd cut the few hairs he had. Or maybe I would push him down to the dining hall and help there for lunch or dinner. Now, I thought that these were just the things that needed to be done in order to see my grandparents. It was more than that, though. These moments were teaching me about giving the best care and about sitting in silence with someone. Now, there were things that Grandma could not do, and she would leave that to the staff, things that require Grandpa to be lifted, like transferring him to be bathed or changed, dressed. Now, I have always been blessed. One could say cursed. We're gonna say blessed, right? With that development of being rather stout in nature. So, one day we figured out that I could lift and transfer Grandpa myself, right? I mean, my life on the farm had prepared me for this moment. I knew I was strong and steady and could do it. Now, this opened up a world of freedom for us. We could take Grandpa on car rides, one of his favorite things in the whole wide world. These car rides usually involved a milkshake for everyone, a lesson on the map of the town, and a tour of the cemeteries to see where my family was buried. I love those rides. Well, anyway, one afternoon I'm visiting Grandma and Grandpa, and we realize, or Grandma realizes, that Grandpa has had a movement, an accident, right? I could see her starting to fret, though. And I knew, and she knew, that the CNAs would come eventually, but Grandma was worried about Grandpa getting sores. And her level of clean always far surpassed that of the staff. Now, I didn't like seeing her this way, and I wasn't exactly sure what to do with my 12-year-old self or how to help, but I knew I was happy to help. So we figured it out. And all I really had to do was to help Grandpa get rolled over and hold him up while Grandma took care of things back there. Well, as Grandpa rolls back over, the sheet moves, and I get a glimpse of all of the things. Now, I was really shocked. I remember being really shocked, right? Because I didn't even know you could get gray hair down there. Now, Grandma must have seen the look on my face, right? Because she says, Laura Catherine, everybody has a body. And everybody deserves to be clean and have dignity. Yep. This is no different than those diapers you change when you're babysitting. Wow. Who knew that this was the moment preparing me to see so many bodies? That stuck with me, those words. Everybody has a body. By the time I was 20, both of my grandparents had passed away. Grandpa was in that nursing home for 8 years. And we knew that he had the best care because of Grandma's vigilance and me. Well, soon after that, their passing, I went to massage therapy school. Now, while other people in the school had issues with underarms, toes, body hair, you name it, they had issues. But I was an old hand at all this already. I'd been seeing these things for ages. And maybe it was because of the time that I spent caring for Grandpa in the nursing home, but I became very good at seeing people in situations of slight distress and knowing how to hop in and help and how to read nonverbal cues. It's probably no surprise that these moments became vital in my career path of massage therapy. And looking back, all of those experiences were preparing me to step into part of my purpose in life, to put my hands on people's body and help them heal. Bodies change, for sure. Sometimes they deceive you and fail you. Sometimes they make you feel really strong and powerful. And my 40-something body, pushing 50, is nowhere close to that 12-year-old body. And from what I witnessed in that nursing home, you see, there's a whole lot of more changes ahead for all of us. It's true. And I have loved learning about how body work can ease pain, reduce stress, heal, and keep our bodies functioning so much better for longer. And it seems so simple. But when you realize that we each have one body, and only one, and you need to live in that body your whole life, you want to take good care of that body. So now, I approach each client with the utmost respect and care to maintain modesty, and you would be hard-pressed to find somebody better than me at draping a body with a sheet during a massage. And because of those words that my grandma said, People hear me say them often in my practice. Everybody has a body. I know I'll never be out of work. Gray hairs no longer alarm me. I've seen it all.